Yo, what's going on everybody? My name is Braxophone, and today we have some awesome Genshin Impact 1.1 news. The first thing to note is that Reputation is confirmed to be in the game. They have officially said, here's the Reputation system, it is unlocked at Adventure Rank 25, and with it comes 3 new kinds of, well, quests that you can do. You have your region quests, which I'm assuming they're going to be adding after the patch, so that way we don't actually miss out on anything with world quests. You're going to have your bounties, which is just to hunt down and defeat bounty targets, so probably big enemies. Each week you're going to be able to do 3 of these, so it is more weekly content for you to do. Requests are going to be refreshed every Monday, and you can complete 3 of those each week. Those are going to be quests from the local residents of the city. And of course there are reputation rewards as well. You're going to see new wings, but you're also going to see some really helpful tools for traversing land and for making your quality of life a little bit better. So they ended up adding an Anemoculus Resonance Stone and a Geoculus Resonance Stone. These are basically stones that are going to tell you if there's an Anemoculus or Geoculus in the area. It's going to kind of show you where in the area it is. And it's going to make hunting those down a lot easier if you prefer not to use something like a map. Also, if you're on something like PlayStation or something that doesn't have a second monitor you can bring the map on, these are going to be really helpful. You get these blueprints by obtaining level 2 in Mondstadt and Liyue respectively, and both of them will give you the Anemoculus and Geoculus Resonance Stones. On screen you can kind of see the stone activating, and you can see a little blue area on the map. So I think that's pretty cool. These stones do have a cooldown of 5 minutes, so they aren't going to be spammable. It will slow down your traversal a little bit, but whenever you're out and exploring, if you don't have them all yet, you might as well just use the stone. Now the Wind Catcher is exciting because this is basically Venti's ability that everyone uses to travel further and faster than with other characters, and now you're going to be able to use it too. By reaching Reputation level 3 in Mondstadt, you're going to be able to get the Wind Catcher, which allows you to create an updraft. The idea of this is that you're going to grab the little white wisps around that create those updrafts, and you're going to collect them and store them for later. There's a cooldown of 100 seconds before the next use, so keep that in mind. And it can't be used in combat, so I guess that would be the downside when comparing it to Venti, but still, I really haven't found a use for Venti's updraft in combat, so we'll see. Alright, now this is the controversial one, Condensed Resin. Right now we have Fragile Resin, which allows us to keep farming by cracking one open, but there's no way to really farm and obtain Fragile Resin, so we have to be a little bit more careful with that. Condensed Resin is an interesting concept. It basically lets you store resin for later at the cost of some materials. You have to spend resin to get stored resin, and when you use the Condensed Resin, you're actually able to get 2 times the rewards from one instance. So this has a couple uses, right? If you're unable to play the game very much one day, or you're not able to use all your resin, or you want to save most of your resin for farming a thing later in the week, you can store up to 3 condensed resin at any given time. This means that when you hit your cap of 160 resin, you can farm all of that for the day, and then you can use your 3 condensed resin for about 6 times more of the reward. The negative part about this is that it doesn't fix the resin regeneration problem that everyone's been having. It kind of just perpetuates the issue. It says here's a bigger glass for the same amount of water. So ultimately, we're not really getting much in terms of the answers we were looking for resin. However, we are going to be able to save extra resin for things later in the week if you guys like to do that. You can also cut down on the time expenditure of using resin by getting twice the rewards for one instance. These will also take 1 crystal core to use, so make sure to farm those crystal butterflies. Oh, and these condensed resins don't work on weekly bosses. Alright, the NRE is something that we've been asking for a little while actually, because it is a little clunky to go through the menu to get food to feed your characters mid-combat. All you have to do to get this one is reach level 5 Reputation in Mondstadt. In it, you'll be able to store up to 2 food items, and these 2 food items you can use to instantly eat with a hotkey. The 2 foods you'll be able to store is 1 HP restoring dish and 1 revival dish. So you won't actually be able to store 2 HP restoring dishes, which means you will want to stack up a ton of HP restoring of one kind. When a character dies, that button will automatically revive them when used. The Adepti Seeker's Stone is really interesting. It's basically just a portable campfire. It allows you to cook anywhere in the world, and that is by getting Reputation level 5 in Liyue. Cooldown is about 5 minutes for this thing, but I'm assuming you're going to do most of your cooking all in one session, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Now, Portable Waypoint. This is something that a lot of people have been asking for. This is going to be really great for traversing land, and it's going to be really great if you have a secret mining spot you like to go back to. If you've marked up your map with a ton of pins and things, you should be able to set your waypoint down there the next time you visit, and then you can just teleport back there when you know your spawns are up. After you create this waypoint, it will go into cooldown for 60 seconds, and you can only have 1 active waypoint at a time. Something I'm unsure of is the co-op interaction interactions with this. We're not sure if that works where you can go into a co-op game and still use your waypoint, or if it deletes it. I know that all of your pins stay on the map, so my assumption would be that the waypoint stays somehow, but we'll have to see. This is huge for chest farmers. The Animo Treasure Compass and the Geo Treasure Compass are going to help you find chests in your vicinity. A level 6 in Mondstadt for the Animo, level 6 in Liyue for the Geo. It kind of looks like a Sealy trail, but a little discolored. It's going to just point you in the right direction, like shown on screen, and you're going to be able to follow that to get to the nearest chest. If there's no chest in the vicinity, it goes on a 5-second cooldown, and if a chest is found, it's going to go on a 30-second cooldown. The mining outcrop search is another new feature, and that one's going to be really helpful for people who like to mine things but don't like to pin a bunch of stuff in your map. Basically, you're just going to talk to the blacksmith in Mondstadt or the blacksmith in Liyue, and they're going to point you to the nearest mining outcrop. Markers will appear on your map for this, so it's super helpful. You'll be able to get merchant discounts once you reach Rep 4 in Mondstadt and 4 in Liyue. You'll get merchant discounts for all the different merchants in the area. Obviously, we're going to have new reputation name cards. Those are going to be pretty cool. You get one by reaching level 4 in Mondstadt, and you get the name card Mondstadt Heroes Fame. By reaching level 7, you get Mondstadt Blessing. By reaching reputation level 4 in Liyue, you get the name card style Liyue 1000 ships. Not simps. Reach reputation level 7 to get the name card style Liyue in the clouds. And you can actually see all of these name cards right down below. I am a huge fan of all these name cards. And in fact, I like the Liyue level 7 one a lot because it looks very unique compared to a lot of the other ones. The color scheme is very different. Of course, we're going to have our reputation recipes. These are just going to be some new things that you can cook, and that allows you to take advantage of new resources and not feed as many into the older recipes. Unfortunately, we don't have the recipes for any of these yet, but we will have them soon, I'm sure. As mentioned before, we do have reputation wing gliders, and these are sick. The first one is actually just like every other Mondstadt glider to me. I don't really notice anything special, but the Liyue one is awesome. It changes the color of the glider completely over into like an orangish yellow, kind of like Rex Lapis, and that is at level 8. You also get an exploration progress system that basically updates whenever you do puzzles and non-resettable things in the area. By doing other activities in the area, just any kind of activity is my assumption. It doesn't really specify, but you're going to increase your exploration progress. The archive system looks really cool. It's basically just a way to keep track of everything you've done and make sure that you are completely 100% organized. There's an equipment tab which shows you all of the weapons and artifacts that you currently own. You can look at stories for selected weapons to kind of find their background and lore. Once you complete an artifact set, you'll be able to look at its set bonus and look at its story from the background. That's not something I think is incredibly necessary, but it's a cool addition. Materials, it shows you what you have and have not gotten. It shows you what recipes you're missing, it shows you what materials you have not obtained, and it's a good way to keep track of everything that you want to find. This system kind of reminds me of Assassin's Creed, but the geography tab creates viewpoints and lets you store all of the viewpoints that you find in Mondstadt and Liyue. I'm assuming this stuff is mostly for photos and just completionism. We haven't seen any great rewards for that stuff yet, but I'm sure it's a part of the exploration tab as well for reputation. You can actually find all of your books in one location in the archive. I think that means that you can actually clear up your inventory space now by getting rid of the books that you have because they will be stored in the archive. Tutorials, everything. Tutorials, everything that you have learned or had pop up on your screen that gives you one Primo Gem is going to be in this section. The character archive system is kind of cool because you can kind of flex on people with it. You can see what characters you have, what characters you're missing, and when you obtained those characters. It's kind of a way to show how far you've come along in the game. I think it's a cool little nostalgia thing that will be fun to look at later when the game's progressed a ton more. They don't specify this, but I think you can check the constellations of characters that you don't have yet, which is kind of cool. It also lets you filter through all the weapons and different characters that are in the game and lets you see which characters wield which, and I don't know, it's just kind of a cool quality of life change. Overall, that is it. That is the entire update that we've gotten at 2 a.m. this morning. If you guys have enjoyed this and you want to be more in the loop on Genshin Impact news, make sure to drop a sub below. We're actually doing a giveaway right now in my Discord, and that will be drawn on 11/11, the day of the 1.1 patch. All you have to do to enter the Discord giveaway is go down into the description, make sure you subscribe to my channel, click on the Discord link, and react in the giveaways channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will have more content out for you soon. See ya.